Hey guys, and welcome to Biscuits Total War. This is Biscuits giving you another 2 versus 2 31k online commentary. Again, I'm playing alongside my clanmate Legion, who's brought the Macedonian faction, and I'm bringing along the Senate, the SPQR. And we're going to be playing up against Egypt and playing up against Rome Scipii. Now, I believe the guy who's playing as the Scipii faction is ELCid. ELCid, I believe, is in the SOH clan. I don't know if he's still in there, but as far as I'm aware, he's in that clan. And we've also got this guy here. Now, I've forgotten his name, but I'll get it up in a moment. He's playing as the Egyptians. So if we have a look at our builds, I've brought my standard Rome versus Rome builds, consisting of 14 urbans, 1 legendary first cohort, and 5 Praetorian cav. And if we have a look at Legion, what he's actually brought is an army to try and combat the Egyptian player. Now, when you see Egypt in a 31k game, more than likely the opponent is going to bring chariots. He's going to probably bring 6 chariots to maximise his cav allowance, and then he's probably going to go really heavy on the archers, because the only infantry unit they've got that is any good is the Pharaoh pikemen, but it's not really great. So to basically counter that, often a lot of people really go heavy on the archer builds. So we thought that Egypt is going to bring a shed ton of archers, and therefore to combat that, Legion was going to bring a bunch of Cretan archers. So he's brought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 archers, and he's got a few companion cav hidden in the background there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Royal pikemen. So this game took a few attempts to play because there's a problem with the connections. Again, it might have been due to GameSpy about to be closed down, who knows, or it could be just a gremlin in the system. But what we decided to do was that I was going to swap. So I was going to go after ELCid, and Legion was going to go after the Egyptians. Now if you have a look at ELCid's build, he's bought 1, 2, 3, 4 Praetorian cav, and then the rest urbans. Oh, sorry, my mistake. He's bought 15 urbans, 1 archer, and the rest urbans. So a fairly standard 31k build. And if you notice, the formation that he's gone for is quite checkerboard. Now, the benefits for doing that is that it's quick to go into Studo, so you can play quite defensively. But as you can see, he's actually rearranging his forces at the moment. So he's got 1, 2, 3 loose formation troops at the front, followed by a row of 4, another row of 4, and I imagine he's probably going to put these last 4 as a reserve at the back with his general at the back. If we have a look at the Egyptian, now he's only bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pharaoh's bowman. In all honesty, I thought he was going to bring 6 to 10 Pharaoh's bowman and basically try and out-skirmish the Macedon player and support his archers with really heavily upgraded chariots. But it looks like he hasn't done that. He's actually brought quite a few pikemen. Now these pikemen, if you notice, they've got no shields, and because they've not got any shields, they're going to be vulnerable against archer fire. They do have a decent chainmail on, so they're going to be pretty good against archers, but they're not going to be as good against say these Royal pikemen, because these Royal pikemen have got these huge big shields which they can use to block out the archer fire. So another thing to bear in mind, we're actually playing at night time. Now if you play at night time, what will happen is your archers will automatically start off with fire mode on, which is good if you want to lower the morale. But if you're getting into an archer duel, you probably want to take the flame shot off, because by taking the flame shot off, your guys can fire more arrows quickly. So you can see at the moment that's what Legion's done, and that's what the Egyptian player's done. Initially the flame shot was on, but they've taken that off so they can do more damage. And if you can see, look, these archers, they've been dropped really quickly here, and that's probably because of the upgrades. I imagine Legion's probably gone for some really high attack upgrades. So the Egyptian player can see that he's losing, so he swung some of his chariots around the side here, just to basically try and rout or scare back some of these archers, but it hasn't worked. Legion hasn't taken these guys, hasn't put skirmish mode on, so they're going to hold their ground, and he's protecting with his pikes. In comes the companion cav. He's done a cav charge slap bang into these pike units. He's lost quite a few cav units, but by doing that he's managed to wrap around some of his guys to basically encircle this Egyptian force. And now it's a cav versus chariot battle going on at the moment. Imagine Legion's got his guys on guard mode, and now he's switched to flame shot to really finish off these archers and finish off these Egyptians. Excuse me. So if we have a look what's going on my side, let's pause it for 2 seconds. Now I admit, and I'm sure ELCid will probably agree with me, when you're playing at night time, sometimes it's hard to actually see what units are doing what. Sorry, especially when you're using the Senate, and especially when you're using the Scipii, because in my opinion, if you stare at these units, they look quite similar, and it's hard to distinguish between the two flags, and it's also hard to distinguish between the dead units and the alive units. So I was getting a bit mixed up. I wasn't entirely sure where my units were. Of course I was trying to focus and trying to concentrate on my battle as well as what's going on over here. But I've gone in for a counter charge. As you can see, ELCid's gone in for a charge. Now my guys are just ambling in. They're not walking and not charging in. I think I must have clicked the wrong button or done something incorrect. So I need to pull my guys out as soon as possible, because what will soon happen is ELCid will go in for a counter charge, and what I don't want to happen is that my guys are retreating whilst they go in with a counter charge. So I'm going to advance my units forward. I want to try and get my guys away from this pool of dead bodies, because as I said, I was finding it difficult to work out who was who. So in comes ELCid with a cav charge, and he's routed a couple of my units. I'm now coming in with a counter cav charge, but this time I'm actually going to charge in rather than just strolling in. By doing that, hopefully I'm going to cause a couple of these units to rout. Yeah, of course, one of them to rout, and now I need to try and pull them back. In comes another cav charge of ELCid. Again, that's probably going to cause a couple of my units to rout, but I have got my general slap bang in the middle there, so that's hopefully going to boost the morale for my units. So I'm going to pull my guys back, and then I'm probably going to do a cav charge on this general unit here. So I want to try and swing the battle into my favour. So I'm just getting into a decent formation before I go in for that charge. Now you can see ELCid's coming around the side here, the flank. He's wrapping up my guys. So in I come for a cav charge. Again, I've selected this unit here, so hopefully I can try and knock them out. Let's try and find that general unit. Should be around here. There you go. So I've managed to rout the... oh no, I haven't routed the enemy. This is the Egyptian general that's routed. So in comes ELCid to try and counter my charge. But Macedon has managed to pull out his pike units. Now he's finished off with the Egyptian, and now he's just going to help me encircle ELCid. And because we've encircled the unit, and now because these archers are now going to rain fire more than likely on the Scipii forces, really is a case of just mopping up the end game. There's very little that ELCid can do. It's now turned into a 2 versus 1. The Egyptian player has been well and truly taken out, and ELCid's general is now routed, so that's going to cause a chain rout within the Scipii forces. So I'm just going to double speed it. ELCid's throwing in the towel. He knows it's a hopeless cause, but it was a great game. Really well played with ELCid, really well played for the Egyptian player. It really is a tough game to play as Egypt in 31k. Ideally you want to be playing in the deserts to try and get an extra bonus, or ideally you really want to be playing maybe in a 4 versus 4 where basically you can spam archers and get decent chariots to help basically assist your opponents. it's much harder when it comes to a 2 versus 2 playing as Egypt. So well played for all those guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, please subscribe, leave a little comment if you can. It's always really interested to see what your thoughts are to the battle. And if you do get time, please do check out the other videos on my channel. So this is Biscuits signing out, wishing you all the best, and thanks so much for checking out my channel. Thanks so much for your time. Hope to catch you soon, okay? All the best, bye now.